It's time for Sustainable Living with Glenn Boblitz, the show that helps you be prepared to care for your family regardless of the circumstances that may come your way. Now, here's your host for today, Mark Lamb.
Well, we've got Glenn Boblitz back in the studio today, and with everything that's been going on, of course, we're talking about sustainable living made easy. These principles could be put into action just southwest of us here in our own state, and of course the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida. And now Florida looking at Milton, a gigantic hurricane that could devastate the west coast of Florida again.
Don't think that thing is just going to stop in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming up there, and all them people have been wiped out already once.
Mm-hmm.
They're about to get hit again.
Yeah.
Some of our people in my inner circle and a wider circle. In fact, I just found out this morning that some of the local militias, everybody thinks militia bad.
Right.
But guess what? Them people are loading up right now. And there's 3 counties involved in this.
Yeah.
Bedford, Campbell, and Appomattox. They are going on a rescue effort down there. So don't think that these people are bad. These are your hometown people.
Right.
Now, where is our federal government that's supposed to be helping us? Their one dang purpose to protect and to help us.
Right.
Where in the heck are they?
Well, they were apparently staged at hotels for a few days waiting for orders.
Oh, we don't have enough money. Well, we send enough money all around the world.
Yeah.
What about us?
Yeah.
What about us?
I think that's really hitting home. And I hope to God these people in the affected areas will still be able to vote, because I kind of have an idea what direction they're going. And this is the thing I thought about, Glenn. And I know we try not to get into politics here, but it is going to be the next president that's going to help restore these areas, not the current president.
Oh, fact.
So if you want someone to make sure these states and counties and cities and communities get the help they need from the federal government, it's going to be on the next president. And I think we've already seen what's happened in the last week and a half.
Well, I haven't even heard them talk about Southwest Virginia.
Right. Our own governor has, but
right.
yeah.
They talk about Asheville and Pigeon Forge,
right.
all the little popular places. But
sure.
what about our home state?
Sure.
Our Southwest Virginia was tore up just as bad. We have just as many mountains and water flows downhill.
We do.
Rips through valleys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've got people out there, so it kind of hit home to me, and we'll never see any help.
Yeah.
Out in South Virginia, we're not going to see it because it's not a popular place.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a tourist attraction.
Right.
It is not something, even newsworthy, even local news. So this may be their only shot, just us sitting here talking about it.
Yeah.
So we're going to put a little stuff together and see what we can do, because
sure.
they need the same kind of stuff that they're needing in North Carolina. So anybody out there listening to this, go check on somebody. Check on that area. Find out what you can do, because it's right down the road. Because tomorrow it may be right here.
Yep.
We could lose power here for a major amount of time, and you're going to be just as desperate as those people are down there.
Yeah.
So you better think you may want to pay it forward.
Yeah.
Because somebody may need to come and help you.
Certainly.
So that kind of comes back to what we're talking about today, and that's just being prepared for a emergency,
right.
Whether it's major or minor. People are traveling for the holidays coming up, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
People are traveling, going to these states or going through these states. Well, what if you break down?
Yeah.
What if you're the one that slides off the road because the road is washed out, and there's not going to be any signs that tell you the bridge is out?
Right.
That's what's amazing. I've seen so many pictures of roads washed out, and the road just drops down 12 feet, and there's a big cavern or a crevasse in front of you, and there's no sign that says, be careful.
Right.
So you may get stuck.
Yeah.
You may be stuck for a long time unless you're prepared to get out of there yourself. If you can't open your trunk up and say, I got my hiking boots. I got some food. I got some water. Got my
tent,
Bic lighter,
whatever.
Whatever you have to get yourself back out to civilization.
Yeah.
You go out in some of these old back roads down in Southwest Virginia, and you know it's out there.
Yeah.
You may think you can walk out, but you can't walk very far in shoes that are not made for walking 4 and 5 miles.
Yes.
So that's on my mind today. Is just being prepared in your car, and Lord knows you may have half a dozen people around you, and the things that you've brought may be what they need just to survive to get you all out of there.
Yeah, and you and like you said in the past, you may be the only one that's kind of thought this through and been prepared, and you may save multiple lives in the process.
Yeah, I mean, people come flying around the corner and run into like I said, a washed out road. You know, a car goes 14 foot over into a ditch, somebody's going to get hurt.
Absolutely.
You're the car behind, and you go, let me break out my medical kit and patch these kids up. And this is happening all the time. There were so many people that were just washed away.
Yeah, it was
washed away. I mean, that's hard to
it is hard.
Imagine that in the middle of the night, your house got washed away.
We watched a video, Glenn, of and this guy was shooting tape in his second story. I don't even know how he was staying in his house, but the creek had become a raging river, and there was this whole house that hit this telephone pole, and I don't know how the pole stayed in place, but the telephone pole literally cut the house in half. It hit it about middle of the house, and it literally hit it, split it, and it kept going. It's just, that's the power of moving water.
You know, somebody runs in the house and said, hey, the creek is up over the road.
Right. It's time to get the hell out of there.
And yeah, if you got a 4-wheel drive truck, you may get out of there. But if you've got a car and the water's over the road, you may not be able to drive in that.
Right.
That's all there is to it. So having the ability to just survive a catastrophe like this is on everybody's mind, and this was a good reminder.
Oh yes,
thank God the people still have a good heart, even though that Asheville is a very liberal town.
Oh, and it's wealthy. It's a wealthy
town.
Yeah,
who came to help them? You know, guys like Glenn Beck.
Yeah.
You know, with kind of the first responders.
Oh my gosh!
You know,
he got the hold of 2 huge freight type helicopters somehow. I don't know how.
And
Somebody helped him.
He said this morning. He said, "I didn't ask whether they were Democrat."
Right.
He said, even though it's a truly a liberal town,
right? They call it the San Francisco of the East.
He didn't ask that.
Right.
He went in and helped.
Yes.
Now you need to pay attention to that because. It's thank God for the conservative crowd, the right leaning, with their hand out to help you.
Right.
People wake up. There's only one side that's worth fighting for. So you're going to have to get a little more prepared than what you are, because if it gets bad here, no one's coming to help.
Right.
This is a classic example of what we've been saying for years. These people are not going to help us.
Right.
They are not of the people. They are not for the people.
Right.
The only way you can get them to do anything is to shame them into it.
Right.
We can't even do that anymore.
Yeah, well, because there's no shame left, it seems.
That's a good point.
It's just not there.
If there's no shame, they don't care.
Right.
And that's the attitude we're getting back from them. I mean,
right.
We're not imposing that attitude. It's being given to us.
Yes.
That they just don't give a crap. They've got theirs, and, you know, tough crap if you don't have yours.
Yeah.
That's a terrible way to look at things.
Well,
but anyway.
I mean, but it's a realistic way, and if you're waiting, you may wait until you die.
Right.
You know, if you're waiting.
Here's what I say about waiting. Wait's what broke a wagon down. Don't wait on these people.
Right.
Get
proactive.
Become sustainable. Get prepared for the minimalist stuff that you need: food, shelter, water. Them people down there don't even have that. And,
right.
And look at the condition that they're in now.
And this is the one time that when we interviewed Gleaning for the World last week, they said water's always good, but water this time is essential. because the water plants have been decimated. They're gone.
And they're not coming back. I mean, they were washed downriver.
Right.
The walls are broke.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone.
Right.
You can't build a water plant overnight. You can't build a water plant in a couple months. There's a lot to it. I used to do some electrical work in these places, and deliver some of the equipment.
Sure.
I know what it takes to run this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a huge operation. So how are them people going to have water from now on?
Mm-hmm.
And all the piping and blah, 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 infrastructure.
Yeah, the infrastructure's been destroyed.
When a road washes out 14 feet deep, it's going to expose all the town water pipes, sewer pipe, and everything.
People don't think about that, but there's stuff underneath. It's like the veins in your body. You can kind of see them, but, buddy, they're working. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Virginia Tech, Montgomery County, is right now giving out water because their water treatment plant went down. It's just the water is too dirty from the new river to filter it all. Yeah. So right now they're under a boil water order in Montgomery County.
Yeah, it's not that far from here.
You're talking about your neighbor. Now, we are no different. They pull water out of the James River. They do have wells and things around, but that water is still being pulled out of the James River, and I think that's what's feeding Lynchburg.
It is.
So don't think that this can't happen to you. We just did a show the other day about preserving your water and storing it up while it's still good. Well, you better get on a stick, people, because it's getting crazy. I don't like to say that very often, and I don't want to paint a black cloud. Right. It's not a black cloud. It's what's happening in front of you.
Yeah.
So get prepared. So back to your car and traveling, and if you're out away from your house, you're probably going to be in your car, and it better have some of the basics of emergency survival. I don't want to call it survival, but that's what it is. So the first thing is just check your spare tire, for goodness sake. Cars don't run real well 3 tires. They just don't. Right. Make sure the jack's in there where you can have it. You may have pulled it out to jack something else up and didn't put it back in your car. Make sure it's there. So it's spare tire, jack at a minimum. That should come with every car as long as you're maintaining it. Windshield wipers and in good condition, all the fluids. If you go through a storm, leaves blowing everywhere, people are kicking up mud all over your car, you turn on your windshield wiper and it does that smear.
Yes.
You can't see it, just smeared
Smears it all.
That you're not going anywhere. If you can't see, you can't drive. That's all there is to it.
Right.
Same way with stay off your phone. you can't see, you can't drive. So check your windshield wipers fluid, all that kind of just typical maintenance stuff. I get that. If you have to travel for a long way, and especially in these storms, and this just happened to a good friend of mine, went down to Florida. He went into the head of that hurricane to move someone that had to get out that day.
Wow.
He drove through a hurricane to get to these people.
Gee.
Loaded up their stuff. Now, when I say stuff, I'm saying a whole house.
Right.
On a box truck and pulling a car behind this thing. And he drove back through the storm.
Wow.
Which was 3 times as long because he was chasing this storm.
He was chasing it then, yeah.
That poor boy was so tired.
Oh, I can't imagine his eyes had to hurt. I mean,
he said his hands cramped up because he was gripping the steering wheel so tight.
Sure.
So the idea here is you take breaks. Don't become an accident just because you're tired.
Right.
Take those breaks in traveling. If you're headed down towards the Carolinas, you may find that you're going to see a lot of gas stations that are out of gas, no gas, can't get delivered to, blah, blah, blah. Because they're all that fuel's being trucked into these places that haven't had fuel for a week.
Right.
So your local guy who was not affected by the storm, he still can't get his delivery. because the distribution system's messed up. So my point there is, don't let your car go past half a tank. That may be your last shot. You know, you see a gas station, you look down, you got a half tank, pull it anyway. It gives you a break.
Yes.
Coffee's good.
Yeah. Yes,
so keep your car filled up. And that works while you're at home, too, because crap happens.
It does.
And we all seem like we're standing on the edge of something bad. So always keep your car full. Now, that's easy to say until you have to pull your wallet out to fill up a car.
Well,
I mean, it's $100 bill to fill up my van.
Yeah, I just can't.
It just irks me, but that's another story. Emergency food and water, enough for about 3 days. Should be in, and you know, I suggest you do very lightweight stuff, dehydrated or whatever.
Can I ask you about canned goods? Just, you know, when you're preparing, because it's pretty reasonable. It's not filled with a lot of sodium.
Right.
We've been trying to slowly stock up our little basement.
Yep. One extra
thing there.
Of your item is smart to do.
Yeah. Because I mean, a can of beans, I can make it on a can of beans in a day for lunch into dinner.
Yeah. I got a nephew that used to eat cold kidney beans all the time. That was his favorite snack.
Okay.
You know, but regardless, that is a good nutritious meal. It's full of starch, gives you energy.
Got to have a can opener.
Yeah.
One that doesn't run on power, too.
Right. You know, a little, in the military, they call them P-38s, you know, a little thing, and they hung on your dog tags.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great idea.
P-38s.
I want to look that one up.
Lightweight is the key here in any kind of emergency preparation, because you're carrying that stuff out of there. So if you're carrying stuff, you got to have something to carry it in. So, you know, a good backpack should be in your car.
Right.
And it ought to be packed with all kinds of goodies. I wouldn't just leave a backpack open in your back seat, because anybody looks down and sees a full backpack, they go, wow, there's probably $400 or $500 worth of stuff in this thing.
Sure.
And they're liable to bust your window out and take it.
Yeah.
And crime is on the increase, folks.
It is.
And you can imagine. So having a good backpack. Water's an issue because water is weighty, 8 pounds a gallon. You need a gallon per day per person.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dang water.
Yeah, it is.
You can't just walk over to the stream and refill the jug. So, you know, you're going to need to have water. Now, you could probably walk 5 or 6 miles if you had decent enough shoes to get out onto the road, but you got to have that water there in case you don't. If it takes a day and a half, you're behind.
Yeah.
So think about that.
Can we just talk about shoes for just a second?
Sure.
What's a good, like a boot, you know, that's still a boot, but yet these climbing boots are pretty good. They're kind of like a mixture of a tennis shoe and a boot, right?
Yeah, there's a million kinds of boots out there for hiking and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to give you some ankle support.
Yes, and protect your ankles, too.
Having that good boots, because it may be quicker to cross over a mountain than it would be to walk back 8-10 miles out some country road. So you're going to need to know where you're at. I highly recommend keeping maps. Every car I've got's got a map in it. It's not as detailed as I'd like it to be, but if you're in your county, get a county map. Get 2 county maps. Get 3 county map wide. If you're traveling that circle, wherever you travel, have a map for it, because you know you can ask anybody where am I at and how am I going to get there, and they tell you things like go out road 674. Well, nobody knows the names of the roads anymore. I don't know why, but but if you have that map, you can find your own way out. Right. And if you're going to use a map, you better have a compass, because you may get turned around somewhere and just say, I can walk over this way. And from years of hunting, it's very easy to get disoriented in the woods, especially if it's nighttime. You come to an intersection, there is no road sign. What do you do?
Yeah. let's take a break here because I know we rely heavily on our electronics, our phones,
correct,
and such. And I want to talk to you about a couple of just the main essentials, and you've mentioned a couple right here already with the compass, and stuff. So let's get back to it here in just a minute. We're going to take a break. We're with Glenn Ballblitz talking about, just what you need to survive, even going and traveling now, because something could happen while you're gone from your home and you still have to find your way back or find your way to something. We'll be back in a moment.
Get ready for a new soundtrack for your life. Doc Rock, Smith Mountain Lake. It's music that'll take away your troubles for a while.
That's what I'm talking about!
Wake up with Janet and Mark on the Morning Jam. They'll keep you informed and encouraged, and we all need more of that.
This ain't jam.
You're invited to be a part of the Doc Rock family, your feel-good station. Doc Rock, Smith Mountain Lake.
We're back with more Sustainable Living with Glenn Ballblitz. Be sure to look for Sustainable Living on Facebook for even more information and follow-up conversations with other members. Now, here's your host, Mark Lamb.
We were talking about some simple things that you need to have, like a compass and a map. If you're out traveling, because that's primarily what we're talking about. What if something happens while you're away and you're on vacation, or you just leave for the day and something catastrophic happens? So a compass, is there Glenn, what would be a good place to go? Is there a website that kind of says these are the essentials you need, just, because even if we're not traveling, we probably should own a compass and learn how to use it.
Oh, absolutely. As far as websites and things, any of the old military surplus, a Lensatic compass from the military, and you see them all over these surplus stores. They're excellent.
Okay.
I've used a bunch of them. They work great. Most people are going to go, but I have GPS. Yeah, but you may not have it.
Right.
The phone may have died, and then you're kind of screwed, you
Right.
know. Same way with the maps, It's always good to have a backup hard copy, Old school says, I don't believe that this stuff's going to stay around forever. And this morning the phones went whack. Did you get any?
No,
of that?
I did. I was not aware.
And here's another one that just happened, and we talked about this before, and that was a solar flare, an X-class solar flare. That was a near miss of cooking that side of the earth. That's how bad it was. And they're saying that these are happening much stronger than they've ever happened. They're happening much earlier than they ever happened because we're coming into a cycle of these things. But that one was so close that it, I forgot what the mileage it missed us by, but
wow,
that was a devastating solar flare, X-class, and it was like an X9.
And that can shut.
They'd never seen one that big.
Wow, that could shut a lot of stuff down.
It could do more than just shut it down.
It could fry it.
It could fry it.
Okay.
So anything could happen, you know. So having the ability to know where you're going and how to get there and make sure you're staying on course is that Lensatic compass and a good map and knowing how to do it. Our group and some of these militias are giving these free classes. Again, everybody throws that cliche of all these military militia groups.
Right.
But that's not what they are.
Well, the media has made them out to be.
Don't believe that crap.
Yeah.
These are people that are said, our world is going to all pieces,
yes,
and we're going to form this community group. I wish there was another name I could interject that everybody would understand what it is,
right,
other than militia, because the militia name has been ruined by the media.
It has.
So when you hear that in our local area especially, don't believe the bad press on it. Go talk to any one of them people, and once you've talked to them, you go, wow, these are just neighbors.
Right.
And what are they doing? They're trying to get you prepared. Prepared for what? War? Maybe. But mostly it's just prepared in case something happens, in case we lose communication, in case we have a tornado. All those things are getting organized by these people.
Mm-hmm.
Go check them out. You may not like them. You may not want to do all the things that they're doing, but they give a lot of these classes, including how to garden. Okay, that doesn't fit the militia narrative at all, does it?
No.
Gardening. Well, they want you to be prepared to be able to maintain our country as it is now. And food, shelter, water is one of them. So don't think it's just military stuff that these people are doing.
And can I just say, did you ever have a teacher in school that you didn't like, but you learned a lot from them?
Yes. Tough teacher and all that kind of stuff.
Put some of your own bias aside so you can survive.
At the very least, just check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Find out for yourself. Don't believe what you hear.
Right.
What is the saying? Believe only half of what you see and nothing you hear.
Right.
Okay, well, this is a classic example. So we're talking about emergencies and being prepared in your travels. A raincoat, even if it's a cheap poncho, staying at least dry will keep you from going hypothermic in the winter or just being totally miserable if it's a summer rainstorm that you're stomping through.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing. Raincoat. A safety vest, especially the ones with the little reflective stripes.
Yes.
If you're walking on the road, you're wearing darker clothes, you're just bopping along trying to get out of there, and somebody comes along and around the corner, they're not going to see you.
Yeah.
Because they're not used to seeing people walking on the road.
Right.
And you could get plowed over. So a safety vest. Now, if the crap has hit the fan, I wouldn't recommend the safety vest too much. You
might need camo.
You want to stay hidden. You might have,
right.
Yeah. Your safety vest ought
to case of
ought to have ammo carriers on it.
But what we just went through here with
but
this
we're
Helene storm.
Talking about just standard emergencies. World's still together.
Semi.
It's broke, but it's still holding on.
Right.
Several flashlights.
Okay.
2 is 1 and 1 is none. They make these little tiny flashlights, little pen lights, and they're LEDs, so they last a long time. Extra batteries. If you're traveling with your family, your kids are going to be scared to death.
Yes.
But when you give a kid a flashlight, it empowers them.
Yeah,
and they're not as scared.
Yep.
So that's a good thing. And don't walk off the edge of the road.
Yeah.
That would help. For your phones, if the phones are operable,
right,
and you're trying to call out, but you may not have very good signal, you could lose your phone just because the battery died. Well, they make these little external battery packs for your phones.
Okay.
And everybody seems to have a phone, so you better have the batteries. So when you get to an area where you do have signal, that you don't have a dead phone, you can at least make that call and to get out of there. So if you have to walk out 4 or 5 miles and you're the guy that's carrying the pack, having a walking stick is pretty handy. Now, it's not just a walking stick.
For a couple of reasons?
Yeah, I mean, I got bit in the butt by a rabid fox once.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just telling you, if I'd had a walking stick, I'd have wore his butt out.
Okay. So for protection.
Yeah, I mean, anything, walking through the edge of the woods, especially in the mountains, snakes will hang at the edge of the road.
Right.
Why do they do that? Because they're after the warmth of the road. So in the evening time, they'll come out and lay on the road because it's warm.
You just finally taught me something I've always wondered about. Why? Why, when there's foliage and everything you can graze on, that it's warmer near the road?
Right.
I didn't know that. I know that might seem silly that I didn't know that, but I always wondered why all these wild animals want to hang out on the road or near the road.
A lot of animals will hang on the edge of the road because of the salt at the end of the road, too.
Oh, okay, yeah, because of
salt trucks come through during the winter
that makes
time.
sense.
If you watch, there's always a groundhog leaning out to the edge of the road, and he's eating the gravel. No, he's not swallowing it. He's wallowing around in his mouth,
to
spitting
get
them out,
the salt.
and that's what he's doing. He's after the salt.
How about that?
Salt is very important. Yep, sure is. Your concealed carry permit. If you are a gun owner and you have a concealed carry permit, which is a good idea these days, have that permit. If you're just out walking around, traveling up the road, you and your buddy, and a policeman would happen to come by.
Right.
And you got a weapon on you, you better have that permit with you. That makes things easier. And then you got to ride. Hopefully it won't be in handcuffs. But
right.
Then
never thought of it that way.
So having the permit will keep you from getting the bracelets. That's all I'm saying. And
Oh, mercy.
we won't go too much into guns because everybody wigs.
Okay.
A Bic lighter. If you've been walking for 6-8 hours, you're going to be tired as crap because you're carrying a backpack and you're hiking it out of the mountains. Your kids can't walk at 6 hours. They just can't. 2 hours at a clip, and you got to stop. If it takes you longer than what you thought to get out of there, and it's cold, having that Bic lighter where you can start a little campfire and get warm back up, it may be life-saving. Because this is what happens when people get really cold. They shiver until it wears their body out. Yeah. Shivering is a vibration thing to keep you warm. That's what it's all about. Mm-hmm. But that wears your body out because you've used up all the available energy.
Okay,
shivering.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Then you stop shivering, and then you get sleepy because you're wore out.
Right.
And you just go to sleep.
And you don't.
And
wake
that's
up.
it. You don't wake up. So having that Bic lighter, so you have a little campfire.
Yeah.
Good psychological thing. It doesn't have to be a big fire. And fire safety. If you're in the woods, think fire safety because you don't want to burn the woods down and end up in jail over just trying to stay warm.
Sure.
An extra blanket or a survival blanket, one of these solar Mylars.
Yes. They're not very thick. They're lightweight.
They're amazing. I don't know if you've ever used one or put one around you. You will heat up in a hurry.
Right.
Because you're losing that amount of heat.
Right. It's going out.
Yeah, people don't realize that until they put that solar blanket on them. They go, wow, I am cooking in this thing.
Right.
That's how much heat is escaping from your body. So that's a pretty important thing. A map. We talked about that with the compass. Get that map. That's another psychological thing. You got a chance if you know where you're at and you know where you're going.
So let's talk about that for just a second. If you lose hope, you're going to shut down more than just your hope muscle.
Yes.
Other things are going to shut down.
Yes.
Because our body can generate a certain amount of adrenaline to sort of keep us going too.
Yes.
But you turn that switch off.
If it's so bad that you give up, there ain't but one place to go after that.
Yeah.
And it's highly possible, especially if it's the wintertime.
Sure.
It's highly possible that you won't make it. So that fighting spirit, that fighting patriot spirit says, I can do this. I have the skills to at least get me and my family out or just get myself out of here.
Right. And then, exactly. And it may take you to save your family.
Right.
For you to get out and get them help and leave them with good instructions.
There's a trigger in men more than women that says, I'm scared and now I'm mad. Right. Well, use that anger to push yourself.
Sure.
To get out of there for yourself and for your family.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how that will work. You just said it ain't going to stop me.
Yeah.
And if you keep that mentality going, and you should apply it to your life everywhere, maintain the anger to a level that it's helpful,
that it doesn't,
not harmful,
right.
But it does help. I've done it before where things got really, really tough at work, and it was hard and painful and nasty and dirty, and you get that kind of anger. I'm gonna get this done so I don't have to do it tomorrow.
Right.
So in that frame of mind, yes, it's okay to get a little mad to generate that push, and you're going to need it, folks.
So I get the part of anger because anger is almost like you shiver out your energy. You can burn up a little too much.
Correct.
And so there is a balance there.
Yeah, if you get too mad, you can't think straight.
Right. Yeah, that's true. You make irrational decisions then.
And any good boxer will tell you that.
Yeah, true. That's true.
And I think you're going to need to have that kind of chutzpah to get us through what's coming. I mean, we're all, like I said, we're all seem to be standing at the edge of the cliff. They pushed us as far as we're going to be pushed. And I don't know what's keeping the country together to start with, but regardless of that, get prepared.
Yeah.
Don't be caught by life storms without being prepared.
Yeah. And
that's what I want you to take away from today, just being prepared enough to get you through it.
Yeah. Well, that's some good stuff, Glenn, and this one applies all year long, and so do the others, but this one's a little more hitting us closer to home because not too far from here, there are people that have gone without power for days, over a week now, and they may not see a power line get restored for weeks.
Correct.
Because the devastation is so great. Well, Glenn, thank you. And as always, we appreciate your insight and your instruction for us. And we'll do this again next week.
Absolutely.
If people have any questions concerning this show or past shows, or even, hey, we want you to cover this, you can reach out to us through our text line, 434-248-0704. That's 434-248-0704. Or what are other ways to get a hold of you, Glenn?
Facebook, Sustainable Living Made Easy with Glenn Boblets. Just shoot me a text or a message, or just make a comment. Tell me what's going on in your life that you may need help with, or your community needs help with. And we'll do the best we can to help you. We're Americans.
Amen. Glenn, good to see you, bud.
Good to see you.
Join us again next week for Sustainable Living with Glenn Boblets, helping you be prepared and not scared. This podcast drops every Friday anywhere you get your podcast.